everyone, welcome back to JPWHU TV. It's nice to see you. I hope you're keeping well and still on a high from us beating Spurs last night. This is the preview of West Ham's ninth away game of the 23-24 Premier League season, where we travel to West London for our third London derby, the second in 4 days, or by the time this game actually happens, the third in 8 days, to Craven Cottage to take on Fulham this Sunday afternoon for a 2 o'clock kickoff, not live on any UK TV channel. As always, guys, this video is sponsored by the channel sponsor, 3retro.com. Please click the link in the description below that will take you directly through to the West Ham section of their website, where you can purchase some very nice retro gear, guys, as you can see from the icon that's up here, along with track jackets, polo shirts, sweatshirts and t-shirts, so go check those out. Any purchases you make through the link in the description below, the commission that the channel would normally be getting, as I always say, I'll be sending on to this charity, Iron Supporting Food Banks. They're based in the Newham area, and they're helping those in the Newham area and the Essex County and further afield for that matter to help put food on the tables for those who've been really struggling over the last 4 to 5 years. So guys, go grab yourself a very nice retro shirt. You'll be saving yourself a few quid in comparison to the club shop, and you'll be helping those the less fortunate than you and I. Now, unfortunately, if there's any Fulham fans watching, I'm afraid there's no retro gear in there as well, but you might be able to find something of an international level. And again, that commission will be sent on to the charity as well. So go grab yourself some very nice gear, guys. It's coming up to Christmas, where charities are really, really needed at this time of year. So guys, you'll be helping out those less fortunate than you and I. So as always, there's timestamps in the description below. So if you've got 10, 12 minutes, by all means, please stick with us. If you haven't, then you're more than welcome to jump around and listen to whatever you want. Now, the officials for this game, the referee, I'm afraid, is Paul the Tyrant Tierney. His assistants are Scott Ledger and Steve Meredith. We've had issue with those guys before. The fourth official is Steve Martin. On VAR, we have David Coote, and his assistant is Nick Hopton. So a very, very much mixed bag of results when it comes to officials there. Now, Fulham, as we remember, were out of the Premier League between the 2013-14 and 18-19 seasons, and also out on the 2021-22 season as well. Areola was in goal for them for the 2021 season, where he was absolutely incredible for them, kept them up as they would have been relegated far earlier than they were, and obviously he impressed with them on loan, and that's why we got him on loan, and then we signed him, and he was very, very good for us in the Cups as well, for that matter. So our last 6 isn't really relevant, but we do remember the game in April where we won it a 1-0 with an own goal. It wasn't the best of footballs, but it's one of the games that kept West Ham in the Premier League, and it's one of the games that kept David Moyes in charge, and of course we all know what happened after that as well, and up until now as well. You know, the games haven't been great. Some of them have been absolutely poor. Some of them have been fantastic. But we'll talk about that in a little while. Now, David Moyes' away record at Craven Cottage in the Premier League is he's won 4, drawn 3 and lost 7. Against Marco Silva individually away from home, he's won twice, drawn none and lost once. So good omens from that point of view. And, you know, West Ham are on a bit of a roll as well, for that matter, which I'll come on to when we talk about the West Ham section, but we're talking about Fulham at the minute. As everybody knows, Fulham are quite a team that are quite close to my heart. They're kind of my third team. And everyone's going, oh, you can't have a second team in the Premier League. Reason being is because when I was growing up over in southwest London in Surrey, the 3 closest teams were the Crazy Gang, you know, Wimbledon, Chelsea, never going to happen, and Fulham. You know, and so Fulham has got a lot of space in my heart here. I'm West Ham, of course. It's the family team. I was very close to becoming a Fulham supporter, but yeah, I chose West Ham. But so I've always looked at them quite fondly, and I always enjoy the games no matter what happens most of the time, with exception of April. Now, Fulham are, at the time of this recording, 12th in the table. They've won 5 games, drawn 3 and lost 7, scoring 21 goals and conceding 26 on a -5 goal difference on 18 points. They have scored 8 goals in the last 2 games, 3 against Liverpool away last weekend and 5 against Forest on Wednesday night, which, no disrespect to Fulham, as I've just said, the team that I'm quite fond of, but that result really reflected quite badly on Forest, because they weren't as bad. They were pretty bad, but it wasn't a 5-0 game. It could have been 6 or 7, to be honest with you, but it kind of flatters Fulham in a little while, I should say. Fulham's home form so far this season, they've won 4, drawn none and lost 3, scored 12 at home and conceded 9. Now, in terms of the style of play, Marco Silva's go-to formation is very much a 4-2-3-1, same as Postecoglou, same as Moyes. So I do think a 4-1-4-1 can easily exploit that, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. Now, Fulham's style of play itself, they like to take long shots, playing with width, attacking down the right-hand side and playing the offside trap. They are strong at creating long shots and stealing possession, but they are weak at avoiding fouls in dangerous areas, defending against long shots and against skillful players and also counter-attacks, but they are very weak at avoiding individual errors. So that is something I do feel we can actually exploit. I've got a good feeling about this, which I'm a little bit worried about, because normally when I'm nervous, we do all right. When I have a good feeling, we don't normally do. So we'll have to wait and see from that. Now, looking at Fulham's injuries, former West Ham defender Issa Diop will miss this game due to an ankle injury. Carvalho is being assessed for a knee injury, and also Diarra with a hamstring as well. So there's a good chance that all three could miss this game. But other than that, Silva's got quite a decent side to pick. Now, players to look out for: Willian and Iwobi are the highest goal scorers at home with 3 goals each, with Jimenez right behind them on 2 goals. Muniz, Ream and Aradibayo, I think you pronounce that, are both are very, very high on their aerial duels, on average 1 at home, between 2.5. 2 and 2.5, I should say. Pereira is the highest assister with 3 assists at home, followed very closely by Willian, Wilson and Robinson, all with 1 assist each. So, yeah, let's go into a bit more detail. Now, Iwobi likes to play long balls and shoots from distance. He's an indirect set piece threat, and he's an indirect set piece threat. It's not easy to say when you're doing this, it really isn't. And he enjoys dribbling as well. He's very strong at crossing. He's strong at key passes and holding on to the ball, but he is weak at aerial duels and is also getting better at finishing, because prior to Wednesday night, he'd never scored a brace against any team in the Premier League in his entire career, which is one of the Arsenal fans at work was joking with me the other day, joking that's the reason why Arsenal sold him. But he scored his first brace against Forest on Wednesday, as did Jimenez as well. He scored a brace. So yeah, it was not bad from that point of view. Willian likes to play long balls and doesn't dive into tackles. He's very strong at direct free kicks. He's strong at passing and holding onto the ball and also long shots, but he is weak at aerial duels as well, and he also has weakness in defensive contributions. Jimenez likes to play the ball off the ground often. He likes to do flick-ons, layoffs. He likes to play long balls and tackles. He's very strong at aerial duels. He's weak at offside awareness, and again, as I just mentioned earlier, he is getting better at his finishing. Palhinha, who was linked as a replacement for Declan Rice in the summer, he likes to play long balls and also likes to play the ball off the ground often as well, for that matter. He's very strong at tackling, strong at aerial duels, and weak at passing and his discipline. He's a bit of a hothead from what I've been reading. So in terms of the game itself, I think this is going to be a very entertaining game. You know, West Ham are on an absolute very, very good streak. I know it doesn't feel like it, guys, but we are now on our highest ever Premier League points after 15 games. We're 24 points, if I remember correctly. 6 points from 4th. We're unbeaten in the last 5 games in all competitions. You know, we really turned the taps on against Spurs in the second half. Not so much in the first. So yeah, I know it feels weird because the games haven't been exactly the best event and the most entertaining of games to watch, but it has been good. You can't argue what's been going on in the table. 15 games in, so we're just over, as I say, we're just over the third of the way through the table now. It's happening. We're getting there, guys. We really, really are. Now, the reason why Fabianski was in goal is, let's talk about injuries. Areola had missed last night's game due to a ligament damage in his hand that David Moyes confirmed afterwards. He's going to have a late fitness test for this game, but I can't see him returning for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. I really, really don't. You never know. Still too early for Antonio from what I'm reading, so maybe he'll be back for Wolves. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, I do think once again we need to go out all guns blazing, as we tried to do, or did reasonably well, I should say, in the second half last night. Obviously, as a result, with Fabianski being in goal, we're talking about the starting 11 now. So Areola needs to be dropped, unfortunately, because of his injury. But this is the starting 11 that I think we should be putting out. Well, David Moyes, especially I would be doing. I know Moyes might not do this, because I don't understand why he's not playing Benrahma. I don't understand why he's not playing Cornet. I don't understand how Paquetá is still staying in the game, because he's been useless. He's been very key. He's made some key contributions in certain games, but overall, especially against Spurs last night, he was absolutely irritating with his flapping about, his pissing about, poor balls at certain points. But I really do hope he can get that out of his system quickly. But this is the starting 11 that I would put out if I was in charge of West Ham United.
Fabianski in goal, with a back four of Soufal, Zuma, Aguerd and Emerson. Alvarez sitting behind James Ward-Prowse in the defensive midfield position, with Kudus, Paquetá and Cornet in the midfield, supporting Bowen up front.
So thank you very much for your time, guys. As always, put your comments in the comment section below. I should have said that at the start, really, but fuck it. I want to know what you're thinking on all these games. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you like what I'm doing, then by all means, please do like, share, and subscribe. We've had some new viewers, new subscribers to the channel recently. It's been great. Thank you very much for doing that, guys. But I know there's more people out there that want to watch this channel. So as I say, please do share it. The more likes these videos get, the more advertising it gets on YouTube. At least 60 to 70% of you guys that are watching this channel over the last 4 weeks are not subscribed. So come on, guys, like, share, and subscribe. Support me. We'll be back on Sunday, I should say, for the watch along from 1:45. But in the meantime, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.